30.5 saves for one Kenley Jansen. I will go first because we are alternating here. I'm going to go over. A big part of this over
Ooh.
is a desperation over, that it means that he will have a lot of chances to save games. It means that he will convert those saves, and it means that we will all have a little less stress in our lives this summer because Kenley Jansen is like, don't worry, guys. I'm going to end these games, and we can all go home happy after about 2 hours and 15 minutes of baseball. That's what it means. I think Jansen being here, I'm glad he's okay, by the way. That was weird last week. The
Yeah.
lightheadedness, and he still didn't feel good a couple days later, and they say he's going to be fine by opening day. It's a strange thing when you see the tweets come out, right? And you see it happen. It's like, oh, okay, it's Kenley Jansen's leaving with the trainer. And you
Mm-hmm.
obviously just think the worst. That's what you think. As a baseball fan, you think, oh, my guy he's probably dead. That's so much for that. We signed a closer and now he's not going to be here. And it was lightheadedness. And when that was released to the public, it was like a sigh of relief, which is strange because like he was going through it. He was like
Yeah.
really had a terrible weekend. And we're like, oh, thank God. Thank God. It's just he feels absolutely miserable and that it's not an actual injury. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that something to be concerned about?
The fact that it was still the case as recently as like Sunday, I thought it was, but Ian Brown and some of the beat guys said that Cora is not worried about it and that he should be ready to go by opening day. So,
Well, of course, that's what he's going to say, right? That he's not worried
I don't know
about
if
it
he's
and
going to say.
whatever.
I think Cora's been pretty honest about the moves, and we'll get to more
Mhm.
of that after the predictions. But anyway, stick with Jansen here.
Stick it.
The fact that he's here, the fact that he's here is a nice reminder that it's like, okay, we have a closer. The Red Sox have a legitimate closer for the first time since Craig Kimbrell. And if you don't remember, Craig Kimbrell, when he was here for 3 seasons, the Red Sox won the AL East every single year Craig Kimbrell was here. I don't think that's a coincidence. Yes, they had Mookie Betts. Yes, they had JD Martinez. Yes, they had Alexander Bogarts. But the Red Sox won the AL East every year. They had an all-star caliber closer. 2016, 2017, 2018. Fangraphs projects Kenley Jansen to have 30 saves. I think he's going to be in the mid-30s range, somewhere around 35. His last 6 full seasons, he has averaged 40 saves a season. Now, I understand you at home are saying, but Steve, it's with the Braves offense, and it's with, obviously, the majority Dodgers offense. Good point. It's a really good point, and that's why I don't have him having 40 saves this year. Got him in the low to mid-30s, hitting the over on 30.5. And this is just the last little tidbit here, Joey.
Hit it.
The Red Sox this century have won the AL East crown a total of 5 times. In those 5 years that they have won the AL East, they have had a legitimate all-star caliber closer. And I don't think it's a coincidence that that's the case. I already mentioned Craig Kimbrell. 2018, Kimbrell, 42 saves. 2017, Kimbrell had 35 saves. 2016, he had 31 saves. 2013 is the 4th time out of these 5 in this century that the Red Sox won the AL East. Just going backwards here. Koji Uehara, 21 saves. I know that number's a little lower than Kimbrell's there, but he gave up 1 earned run when he knew he was the closer from the start of July on. Might have been a little earlier than that, but the numbers back this stat up, so I'm going to say this one. From the start of July on to the end of the season, Koji gave up 1 earned run in his final 37 appearances as the closer of the 2013 Boston Red Sox. The run he had there after Bailey and Hanrahan went down is just, I still can't believe it happened. It's part of that magical 2013 season. And then the other time this century, the Red Sox won the AL East, 2007, Jonathan Papelbon, 37 saves. So I don't think it's any coincidence that the Sox are at their best when they have a legitimate closer. They now have a legitimate closer. Yes, he's 35 years old, but he's been doing it for a while. He had 41 saves last year. I got Kenley Jansen over 30.5. What do you got, Joe?
I also have him hitting the over, and I'll tell you why. I had some doubts about the amount of opportunities for saves that he was going to have. But at a certain point, I have to have some faith in some part of this team because I believe they're going to do well. We've kind of already hinted at win totals on this show
Yeah.
before, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Not to
I'm
give
glad that we have
anything
to lock
away.
in. I'm glad that we have to lock in on this show, our final win total projection. So it's in
Yeah.
stone.
but we've both been on the high end, and I still feel that way. And I still believe this team makes it to the postseason. So I don't know how I go through this, line of questions here, and I say, well, Devers isn't going to have that many home runs. Jansen's not going to have that many saves. Well, then how do you have them making the postseason? So I'm surrendering my weariness around this, and I'm going to give the offense some credit with this because I believe that Kenley is going to have good stuff, and I'm just going to put good faith in the offense that he's going to have save situations. I also, this is a little side prediction here. Kenley's intro, it's going to be sicker than we think.
Okay.
So I'm with you on this one. We're the first one we agree on. I'm taking the over on 30.5 saves.
All right, we got the over for Kenley Jansen. Are you alluding to the light show they're going to do at Fenway with the new LED lights? Is that part of it? Yeah.
I'm alluding to the light show that they're going to do with the no LED lights at Fenway.
I do wonder. I know we have all the advanced stats out there. What are the stats when you have the LED lights for your entrance versus if you don't? Someone get on that. That's obviously an easy one to look up. So once you find it, let us know. Maybe we will update our Jansen's saves total to be even higher. I got 35. Do you have a number in mind?
I go 32.
Okay. It feels like it's going to be somewhere around there. I mean, injuries, of course, make over-unders stupid. So these are all assuming guys play a mainly healthy season, or else what's the point of doing over-unders? Like, obviously, you got to have that assumption going into it.
Speaking of healthy seasons.
Yes.
That was a segue into the next one, dude.
Do it again. Do it again.
All right.
We'll keep it all in, but let's make sure, let's have this be as smooth as it can be here.
All right. Speaking of healthy seasons.
Ain't that the truth, Joey? That's our next over-under. 34.5 games played by one Trevor Story, who is not going to have a full healthy season. It's coming down to how many games is he going to play. Is he going to play this year? Is he going to play 50 games? Is he going to play 40? Is he going to play 34.5? We can guarantee no. He's going to either play less than that or more than that. And I believe you're up, Joe. I believe you're up here.
Sure, I'll take it. No, he does not. Fangraphs has him projected to play 56 games, I think it was.
58.
58. What is that? Where is that number coming from?
I don't know.
I thought we all kind of agreed that Trevor Story is a big old maybe down the stretch. That this is, if this team is in postseason contention, if they're a game or two out, if Trevor is all healed and honestly a little ahead of schedule, then he comes back for a little bit. I think we made this line, and I still think it could be like almost half of this. Like, I still think even if he makes his first appearance in early August, I don't think he plays every game from there out. It would be pretty peppered in. I would imagine him DHing a bit. I think this number is more like it's either
our adjusted number's
numbers.
Not bad. Let's give ourselves some credit. This adjusted over/under, this ITM adjusted number, feels way more accurate than the Fangraphs of 58. That's absurd.
Yes. No, that's for sure. And I think the only reason it is this high though is because we saw that Fangraphs said 58, and we're like, okay, well, because I think it's one of two numbers.
I would have had it around 30, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I have two numbers in my head that I think Trevor Story would play. It's either 18 games or it's 0 games.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I have to take the under just because there's a big chance that he does play 0. So yeah, he doesn't hit 35 for me.
I'm excited to listen back to this when he hits the over for 58. I really, that's going to be a fun time. When he plays 70 games this year, it's going to be nice to tune back in and be like, we're morons. We thought that over-under was terrible. Yeah, I got the under. I got the under just because in a season prediction show like this one, Joe, you got to put your mind to work in terms of what do I see? What do I picture the headlines being, the storylines being? What's going to be the trend on Red Sox Twitter as it relates to some of these players? I can already see, and we're going to be positive here in a lot of categories. The Trevor Story one is not one that I can go to because I can already envision the like a new update every week, and it's different than the previous week, where it's Story threw from he was ready to throw, but then he didn't. Then he's taking another week, and then they're going to reevaluate. I can see that word popping up over and over and over again with Trevor Story, and no super jab at the Sox training staff, but they didn't have the best 2022. So ideally that won't be the case again this season, but even if they're on and Story's not, recovering at the speed that he would hope, you could very easily hit the under for 34.5. And I think that's why we're both going under.
Yeah. And there's also a reality in this where they want him to play 50, 60 games. Like he comes back early August with the hopes of him finishing out the season, and he rushes back a little bit. And then after a week or two, he's slowed back down. So yeah, I think the under is just too safe. There's a reality where he breaks it, but the under is just, it seems a lot more like there's a lot more scenarios by sheer numbers, that fit the under. You know what I mean? There's just too many scenarios that work for that. So
there's 56. See, here's the deal, Joe.
Yeah.
There's 56 games on the Red Sox schedule from August 1st on. So for him to hit 58, he almost has to come back at like the start of July instead of the start of August. I don't know where they're getting 58 from, because you just got to factor in natural games you're not going to play. Like you're not going to just like play in all the games. So the Red Sox have, let's see, 58. I'm doing quick math here. And 5, 60. There's like 83. There's like 83 Red Sox games from July 1st on. So if he came back then, 58 sounds more realistic. 60, something like that. Plays 60 of 80, something like that.
But that's him coming back before the All-Star break?
That's what I'm just saying.
Not
for
happening.
That, that's the point. That over-under, that 58, I don't know where they're getting it from, because he would essentially need to come back before the All-Star break, if that's the case. Or immediately after the All-Star break and have no bumps in the road, nothing go wrong, have the Red Sox in contention in September so that it's meaningful games that he's playing. There's a lot of things. I'd be stunned.
When the conversation has been up to this point, we don't know if he's going to play at all.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. With that, there's been another batch of reports that All-Star break's not unrealistic. So, I don't know. 58. The one thing I know is that 58's not going to happen. It's just funny that we're so set on this, because that's why I think it will happen, that he's going to play 60 or something, because it just seems so absurd that number's at 58.